Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is John with the Residual Group. Today is July 26th. It is slightly after 12:15 New York time. We're looking at USD JPY on a 6-hour chart. We got into this trade last night right around this candle. My reason for that is it broke through our support and was showing signs of it um definitely downtrending. This is a riskier move, I would say. Um Only because just because it breaks through support does not necessarily mean that it will continue to make a move downward. Okay, yeah, there was some news that came out that really sent this pair downward, and we jumped in. I set my limit down around here somewhere based off of this area. I saw some kind of consolidation over here, so that kind of gave me an idea of where I wanted to set my limit. Um, and this thing kind of went down. It stalled out around here. The next candle opened. Like I said, it still kind of stalled. It took a while for it to kind of get down here. It stalled, it came down some, it started to retrace a bit. Um, so what I did was I just got out. I wasn't gonna wait for it. It came down to this area and I kind of figured maybe it ran out of steam. So I just took my profits. It was about around a 70 pip gain. And so like I said, I kind of cut my profits a little short. Had I been a little more patient, I could have got an extra, let's see here. I could have got an extra almost an extra 70 pips. I mean, it came down here and then it retraced and it closed right around 104.25. So, I could have got an extra 50 pips, but it is what it is. It's a part of my strategy. I stick to it. If I start to see some of the consolidation around here, before it starts to reverse and go into the other direction, what I'll do is I'll lock in my profits, and it is what it is. A lot of other traders will, they'll sit tight and be patient, and in this case, um, they would have gotten an extra 50 pips had they got in when I got in. But like I said, that doesn't always happen. Sometimes it'll come down here and then bounce back, and you're trying to be patient. And meanwhile, this thing is going back, and then you end up losing a large portion of your profits, and then by that time you're gonna have to kind of get out of the trade anyway. So I was perfectly fine with taking that 70 pips. So this next candle formed and basically ran out of steam. Then we got another candle here, showing some buying pressure. Um, so I was definitely interested in getting back into this trade, going long. I wanted to see what the next candle would do. The next candle formed around 11 this morning, so I got back in. I went long. This trade is actually live right here. We're kind of heading in the right direction right now. We're up about 10 pips. We're looking for it to kind of go back up to this resistance area that was support at one point. And looking to take a nice gain from this. Um, it's about 120 pips. So we're looking for this thing to go back in the other direction. Like I said, we are long. This is USD JPY. So we're going to see where this goes from here. Like I said, this strategy is based solely off of you know um, price action movement. A lot of there's a lot of mess in here. Which is kind of the reasoning why I'm put my limit up around here and back into this area of resistance. So we will see where this thing goes from here. Um, Hopefully, it runs all the way up to this limit. Uh, Maybe it'll hit some. Maybe it'll consolidate in here. I'm not quite sure. I'll keep my eye on it. If it does, then I'll do what I did previously. I'll just get out, and that'll be probably around somewhere around it's around 90 pips, and I'm perfectly fine with that as well. Perfectly fine with that as well. And so we will see where this goes. We're looking here at a 6-hour chart. Let's see what it looks like on an 8. Okay. So this thing kind of has some room to really move. It has some room to really punch through here. Um, I don't really see anything in the news that could send this thing the other direction. Um, okay, yeah, we got some good news um, out of the U.S. this morning. Consumer confidence. This is probably why this thing is going in the other direction right now. I don't see anything coming out about the yen that could really send it in the other direction. I just don't see it. And we have the rate decision coming out tomorrow. That'll be a huge market mover. We'll be keeping our eye on that. I would say by that time, we'll already be out of this trade. We'll probably be looking to get back in. Either way, as that news approaches, I will get out of this trade just because it's going to be extremely volatile. And, I want to be able to lock in some of my profits. And, so we'll go from there. John with the residual group. We're just kind of touching base with you guys, going over this trade. Not very in depth. Um, it's just trade was kind of just was what it was. And, I had my eye on this trade only because I was looking for it to kind of bounce back into this area. Like I said, it's been consolidating around this area of um, which was support at the time, and it just kind of wasn't really. I mean, it kind of broke through here, and then it retraced, and so my initial thought was kind of to go long, but I wanted to see what this candle was going to do. Once I saw it form and then kind of start to, break through, and after that news, I just immediately jumped in and went short. And then, as you can see, it was the right thing to do. I was trading on a 6-hour chart when I got into this trade. So we're gonna hang tight, see what it does. Almost quite certain that this thing will retrace back into this area. Um, maybe it probably start to consolidate around here somewhere, and hopefully it'll punch back through. If it just stays around this area and we start to come up on that Fed rate, then I'll close my profits. I'll take my profits and close out, and see where it heads from, from that point. As of now, it's looking like the Fed is going to keep the rates the same, but you never know. So, John here with the Residual Group. You guys can follow me on Instagram at the Residual Group underscore EST 2016. You can email me at trgroup610 at gmail.com. And you guys have a good day and good trading.